Hello, Tarot friends. This is Ultraviolet Morgan, and we're back, and we're still working our way through the zodiac. And this would be quicker, but it's the time that it takes to upload is part of the issue. It takes time to upload, and then I've got to start and stop. But we are on spiritual reading for the sign of Sagittarius. So we're going to get a card for Sagittarius. Thank you all for subscribing. I'm so excited doing this super mini part reading because I've reached 100 subscribers, 101. Oops. Okay, the world in reverse. Sagittarius, your spiritual message, the world in reverse. Let's see. There we go. So what is the world in reverse telling me, Sagittarius? Spiritually, I think that Sagittarius is feeling... I think that you've forgotten about the interconnectedness of everything, and maybe you don't feel it either. And so I want Sagittarius to think about the ways in which all things are connected. And I think maybe that will help to bring you some of the answers that you're looking for. Oops. Okay, so who's next? I had to write them down because I can't remember all the signs in their orders. Cappy. All right. Spiritual message for Capricorn. Spiritual message for Capricorn to celebrate 101 subscribers. All right. Spiritual message for Capricorn. Capricorn, I want your spiritual message is that money isn't everything. This Five of Pentacles is about... Often it's about poverty. It's about being left on the outside. But Pentacles also represent material things and represent money and resources. And I know that Capricorns can really, really focus in on the money aspect of everything and sort of tie everything back to money and go back to money. I really think that spiritually you need to, one, think about how your spiritual values and your money values, maybe do some work on that. Think about money almost is never really just about money. Money is kind of a metaphor because it's something that people invented in order to exchange things. So it's about value, and it is also about the things that you value. So what does money represent for you? Does money represent hard work? Does money represent love or care or does money represent fun? I'm thinking most Capricorns are going to say no. What does money represent? Responsibilities and debt and weights and things. Is it just another problem? Does it represent freedom? Does it represent... Most Capricorns, I would say, probably don't consider that it represents freedom, but there are other people in the world, Cap, that from which money represents completely different things than what it represents for you. So first of all, think about what money represents for you, and then think about how money might represent other things for other people. And then hopefully that you can use that contrast a little bit, and also to understand others, and also to understand yourself better. So, all right, Cappy. Aquarius, spiritual message for Aquarius. And then we get to the advice portion of this. There we go. Spiritual message for Aquarius is that someone has something for you that you don't want. Like maybe a spiritual message. I wonder if any of you were sitting there thinking, I don't want a spiritual message. Get on to the advice. Yeah, think about what somebody around you, I think maybe is probably trying to get your attention, or trying to maybe even trying to offer you help or friendship or something, and you're just either oblivious or you're closed off to it. Spiritually, just look at those walls. Look at those walls that you have up. And, I mean, walls are not always bad. Boundaries are great. Boundaries are good. Walls are bleh. So think about, if you have a wall, what's the boundary that you need to establish, rather than just putting up the wall. So think about what the boundary is. Think about how to see, and I am giving you advice. Think about what the boundary is, and think about how to communicate the boundary effectively. So, like, if someone is offering you, they're wanting to do favors for you, and you don't want them to, because you feel like if they do things for you, then you'll owe them, or you feel like they have an ulterior motive or whatever. Okay, this is just an example. So then, if that's the case, then I just want you to consider that, work that out in your head, and then think, how can I communicate to the person honestly, but without, not emotionally, not with anger or anything, but just honestly and openly, what your boundary is. So, like, for example, I would like to establish, before I accept this assistance from you, that it comes with no strings. Or I would like to establish, if I accept this assistance from you, whether or not there's something else that you expect from me in return. And just ask without any judgment, and then, let them come at you with the response, and then you can, also, once you've asked that to clarify where they stand, then you still can state your boundary and say, okay, well, I appreciate this gift. As long as we're clear that it's a gift and not an obligation, for example. And then you can also, if you want to say, it's nothing against you, it's just a reoccurring issue in my life that I find that sometimes I'm not clear about that. So I just want to make that clear. So stuff like that. Look around and see where your walls are up, and see where you can replace them with boundaries. And how is this spiritual? It's because I said so. Really, I mean, I think it's just going to help with your connection. And, think about your boundaries. You can also think about it in just spiritual terms as well, in your connection with your deities, or with your higher power, your higher self, or whatever. So, yeah, I think that actually that will really help with your spiritual growth, to examine those walls and set boundaries. Man. Was that Aquarius? I feel like I'm almost certain that was Aquarius that I just did. Wasn't Cap. Cap was, okay, Cap and Aquarius. Alright, so, man, okay, we're not running out. We're okay. Spiritual message for Pisces. Oh, okay. Spiritual message for Pisces is the Pisces card. Alright, so we got our young man, and he is talking to fish. I'm just going to say that spiritual message for Pisces is to engage your imagination, do some visualizations, maybe even do some path working, maybe some praying, or some setting intentions, dealing with, your higher self. That is the spiritual message for Pisces. So now we're gonna reset again, and we're gonna go through And we're going to do everybody's advice. Let's see. Let's see if I can get all the way through the advice portion. I doubt it. I'd like it if I could get through the advice on this. In one run. Advice for Aries. Advice in your life. Wow. Okay, defenses. Oh, yeah. All right, be on the lookout for dishonesty, for, I think if someone's been kind of already coming at you or gunning for you, I'm gonna say I don't think that has passed. So keep on your lookout for that. Taurus, some advice for Taurus. Oop. Taurus advice. Man, Taurus. Okay. Taurus's advice is to basically open up and go for it. Be trusting, move forward, take the leap. Interestingly, I want you to know, okay. Basically just go for it without thinking too much about, don't do anything just completely foolish as if, don't like actually jump off a cliff, okay? But I'm going to say, here's, you want to write a book, write a book. Start writing, write every day, set yourself a goal of number of words or whatever so you can have this rough draft written in a month or 2 months or 3 months or however long. I wouldn't make it much longer than 3 months if it's whatever this goal is. Not something that's going to go forever, but set your goal is my point, and then just do it. But don't, okay, this is it's weird advice, but I've heard it before. So you think about the process and the steps and what you're doing right now and not the outcome and not the goal. So you set the goal is to write a book. Okay, you break that down daily, write X number of words. And then when you sit down and write, you don't think about the book, you don't think about the whole book or having the book done or having to edit the book. You don't think about what's going to happen when you get the book published and how you're going to go on a press tour and be a millionaire and be the next, J.K. Rowling, whatever. You make your schedule and you just do it. And you just stay focused in that moment. So that is the advice for Taurus. So sorry, guys. Really. Oh, okay. Gemini. Advice for Gemini. Avoid temptation. Avoid temptation, Gemini. All right. Advice for Cancer. Use sunscreen. That's not really the advice, but it's always good advice. Although right now it's not very sunny. The advice for Cancer is literally to get out in the sunshine. Let it, it's wintertime, so it's important to get the sunlight as we can. So get out there and experience the sensation of the warmth and let it just soak into you. There are good things. I feel like, you need to focus on something really positive. Oops. Cancer. Okay. Advice for Leo. Ooh, Leo. That's a lot of advice for Leo. Be careful of bad company and bad Be careful of who you're dealing with, who you're interacting with, who you're sharing your energy with. Just a reiteration of that. Kind of maybe keep some things to yourself and don't overburden yourself. Don't, be careful who you're interacting with, because I feel like there's a warning here that some people might not have your best interest at heart, and that they could looking out for themselves. Don't take up on other people's burdens. Don't co-sign for anyone right now. Nothing like that. Keep to your own counsel. Keep things to yourself. Don't show all your cards, and don't keep those boundaries good. This Leo, right? No, Leo has a sun. So that was Virgo. All right. Sorry, guys. I'm gonna have to figure out some way to keep track. All right. Libra advice. Advice for Libra. What kind of advice does Libra need? Advice for Libra. Can I have a advice? I want an advice card for Libra. Thank you. Oh, okay. Sharp tongues. Sharp tongues. And justice. Be careful what you say, because it will come back to bite you right back. Advice for Libra is pretty straightforward. Alright, I got a couple more, but I gotta end this one and upload it. So we'll see you soon.